so don't you forget.
This week on This Big Life. It's the last episode of the season, and we're going to get to recap everything we've experienced and learned. Through ups and downs, learning curves, and radical shifts, I am not the same person I was anymore, and we're just about ready for our next season. I'm heading back to San Francisco, and it's time to get ready for the next adventure. It's not TV, it's self-discovery. All this on This Big Life.
Yeah.
Good morning, fam. We leave tomorrow morning, the end of the European leg. We're going to South America when we get back to the States, but it's time to go home for a little while. We have learned a lot. This is it, fam. Going to our final destination. I think it's this way. Today I told my mom I was coming home. She let me know that PBS in the US has reached out to my dad again. They want to do a documentary on his old nightclub. It's where they filmed Purple Rain, hence my name. The journey continues. There's no crosswalk here at the crossroad. It's like a song. We're gonna jaywalk because there's literally no crosswalk. To grow sometimes means that you lose people who could not follow you. They are the way-seers into highlighting the path that falls behind you. Then, to grow sometimes means fighting back the roaring tears of nostalgia and accepting the dawning of a new day because you were no longer allowed to cling to the answers the past could bring you over and over again. Sometimes growth means baring your teeth and being so vulnerable, the burning sensation in your skin is all that is reminding you of your life, and the only tool you know you have is to turn anxiety into excitement. Sometimes growth means forgetting the shadow of who you used to be and letting go of who you are. Only then do you find the reflections in this big world that reminds you of the truth of where you came from. Growth is running through a branchy forest with no directions and running faster and faster towards the light that sometimes shifts directions. And it's perplexing. And it's embarrassing. And instead of falling victim to that, you run straight to the source of it all, instead of away from it. Growth means bearing all and being willing to bear witness to all, for we are all always growing, and it means allowing others to find and share their light with you too. Growth sometimes means that the things that were important to you once may not be important to you anymore, and that's all right. That's okay. It reminds us of the oceans we've crossed, and sometimes it's time to drift to distant deltas and far-off lands and find meaning in rare and exotic things that you've never quite encountered before. And once you can look down and see your feet firmly planted in these new places, you can take a second and look up at the sun straight on and whisper, "Here I am." Growth sometimes means remembering who you were before you grew up. It's about remembering what you used to reach for before your hands were slapped away. It's about remembering what gave you joy before you looked the other way. Sometimes growth means the solitude of being the only one in the room who's not wearing a mask. You have to tiptoe or fight or narrowly avoid being tricked into doing so, while others may be too afraid to be their truth too. Instead, they try to adorn you with their intricate and porcelain masks that are meant to hide your light, but you choose to be a reminder of the light. Growth is making mistakes, being uncomfortable, and it's being disillusioned. It's growing mad in your uncertainty as you follow only the road of intuition and feeling. It's about never being sure, thus being forced to have faith. Growth means turning to nature because it becomes the only thing that could possibly understand you in this moment. Right here, right now. Growth is looking at the mirror into your own eyes. I've learned that all the most important relationships have come in through the eyes, thus, the most important relationship must do the same. Growth is healing your bruises and bandaging your feet no matter how many people have stepped on them. Growth is forgiving others, and most importantly, forgiving yourself for ever packing yourself away, your mind, your heart, or your soul. Growth is playing in the deep, murky waters where the scary things are and knowing you are fast enough, you are able enough, and you are ready enough too. We are all in this life together. This big life. And it will always be about remembering why. And it will always be enough. And so much more. Okay, fam, we're about to board. We're flying business class today on KLM on their aircraft 777, 777. My body is in so much pain after the festival. I went and I had to get a massage, like a 20-minute massage. We'll see how much of a relief on the body these business class seats are. So, let's do it. That's like a 2.5-hour line for visitors. Oh my gosh, San Francisco. Come on. Good morning, fam. We are back. California, San Francisco Bay Area. The things that we left 2.5 months ago. A lot of stuff. So we're at like a heaven-sent crossroad. And I have my little angel dog with me. Like, do I take on a job to support myself? Like, are we meant to just do that? Like, I really have to push myself harder now. I have to push my limits harder now. And I have to believe in myself more than anyone else is willing to believe in me at this point. Having to pull as much courage as I possibly can out of myself to battle all opposition and to continue to believe. Maybe I'll never make anything out of what it is that I'm trying to do. Maybe I'll never conquer all my fears. But the point is that I have to try. I can't just take a job. Not right now. I have to push against the limitations that the world is trying to push on me right now. It's excruciating. But the only limitations that matter are the ones that are on the inside. And I feel more and more and more of that oppression being pushed back on me. And I'm like, nope. I'm gonna get clearer and bigger about my dreams. But I feel the opposition, like what will people say? Like that fear around what will people say? Just like fear. And what will people think and all that. And I'm like, it's time to fight for the only thing that was ever worth taking a risk on. And even if a majority of the people in my life don't understand it, I'm not messing around. This is real. This is real life. Clearer and bigger about my dreams. I'm the guinea pig. Right now I'm at the crossroad asking myself if I can do it, and I have to keep going because I have to convince myself that I know that I can. What does it mean to follow your dreams? I spent an entire year sharing with you what it meant to find myself after leaving a series of relationships that hadn't allowed me to grow. And I had been hiding from myself in them.
But now that all the obstacles are gone and it's only me left, what does following my dreams truly mean? Am I going to fall back into a rhythm that was the fertile ground that created that last version of myself? Or am I going to do something different? As this journey continues, I had to do something different. So again, what does following your dreams mean? No excuses, no limitations. Where do you end up? We're heading out into the big world again to chase my dreams of wanting to land in the agricultural industry as an entrepreneur. Organic food and sustainable agriculture have always been a passion of mine, and it's time to double down and go all in. Watch as we head out for the research phase in the chocolate industry and land as investors and entrepreneurs in the beautiful country of Ecuador. This is This Big Life Year 2. What a ride. See you there.